G'day guys, Chris from Old Norse Games here. I thought I'd do today a Unity tutorial in C# for you guys. After trolling the internet for a little bit and checking out what the people are sort of requesting, I thought I'll throw down some ones that the people are wanting, and there's no real tutorials on it. It's very basic, this one. This one's going to be about a NPC dialogue chat sort of system. Like I said, it's going to be very basic. Anyone that's out there looking for tutorials is probably going to want a basic one, unless they've got a grasp of C# and Unity in general. So anyway, let's get into it. What I've done, well, first off, let me apologise too if my kid comes in and starts talking to me. I'm at home at the moment. So anyway, what I've done is I've started a new project. And I've just imported the standard assets, character controller, terrain assets, and water. I threw water in. I don't know why I threw water in. But anyway, so this tutorial will be a two-part series, I'd say, due to the time constraints from Camtasia. So let's get into it. So first off, what I'm going to want to do is just create a new terrain. I like to make things in a separate project from the game that I'm working on, purely and simply because if you're doing it in a project that you're working on, there's a good chance you can't, if anyone's like me, you'll go from doing modelling or terrain placement, stuff like that, terrain design, level design, to LOD, to occlusion, then down to a little bit of animating and then some scripting and blah blah blah. And I find if you do it in the same project you're working in, you tend to get a lot of errors, and then you can't sort of test the game when you swap from one to the other. So I like to do it into a new category, or into a new project, sorry, and that way whatever project you're working on sort of doesn't get stuffed up. So imported the new terrain. I might also add a directional light just to give it a bit of pizzazz, and I'll also go ahead and create a camera. Actually, I'll delete the camera. I'll just do a quick rough outline here of a circle, just so we know where we're going to be placing everything. And for argument's sake, I may as well throw a quick texture on it. Not a grass texture, there we go, there we go. Now I'll also throw in the first person controller, so we know where we're at. Zoom down onto him, make sure he's above the terrain, and just to check to see if it works. Okay, beautiful. For some reason, sometimes when I import a new project, the first person controller doesn't work too well. Alright, so the way I thought about doing this, I was going to originally get into doing XML nodes and working it that way, but I figured that might be a bit too advanced for most people. So what we'll do is just create a system that's easily implemented. I mean, it's pretty rough, but people can add to it and make their own bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do now is create another folder called prefabs, and inside here I am going to create a prefab, and I will call this one NPC underscore dialog talk dialog. NPC dialog. Create another folder and move it out of the prefabs folder, and I will call this one, I'll just call it scripts. And in here I'm going to create create a C# script, and I'm going to name it exactly the same. You don't have to, you can name these whatever you feel like. Now, go back into your game, go create empty, just check out whereabouts it's situated, and that seems to be alright. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm trying to do something on camera, please. This is going on YouTube too, by the way.
They can't see.
Not when I tell them. You've made me lose my train of thought. Out. Oh, hang on, I'm going to pause this. Sorry about that, guys. My missus was being a bit naughty. So what we're going to do is we've created a new empty game object, and I'll just call this one. I'll change the name of this too, and I'll just call it NPC dialog. And what we're going to want to add is, oh no, we're not going to want that there. My bad. Add component, go down to physics, and add a box collider. Now, you can situate this however you want. I like to have them in front, so you can't talk to the character from behind. So what we'll do, we'll add a capsule, and size him up a little bit. And drag him up a tiny touch on there. Drag him up. What we'll do is we'll add the dialog to the, hang on, there we go, to the capsule. Click on dialog and go transform. What have I done there? Oh, there we go. Reset position. Okay. So if this is the front of the, what we might do is also add another, create another capsule. We'll scale him right down, and I'll rotate him on the x-axis a bit forward and drag him into the, and that will create some sort of nose for the, just so we know which way they're facing. It's the easiest way. Jesus, I'm going really slow today. What's going on? And just so we know which way he's facing, that'll do. And of course we'll drag that into that capsule too. Now, so we know which way the guy's facing. Sorry. We've got which way the guy's facing because he's got his little nose there. I don't like it in game when you can talk to characters from behind. I mean, you can do that and have them skip in, but because we're using on trigger enter, and we'll probably go some sort of screen lock or time stop or something like that. I just figured do it in front of them. It's a bit easier. So what we'll do is we'll scale it on the x-axis. Sorry, my bad. Scale it on the z-axis, and we might do it 2 times. Yeah, that seems a bit right. So then you can only really talk to him when you're in that range there. We might actually scale the x-axis up by maybe 2 times as well. That way you got that sort of field of motion, or that area just there where you're going to be talking to the guy, and you won't be able to talk to him from behind. So, box collider, we make sure we click is trigger. Then what we're going to want to do is drag this NPC dialog out again. And we're going to want to, what we do when we drag it out of the capsule is we're making it not a child of the capsule. So if we move the capsule, it's going to, the box is going to stay there. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to be putting the game object onto the prefab, and then that way we can just drag that prefab straight onto this one, drag prefab onto another one, change the script around, and we'll be laughing. And for some reason I've called this NPC dialog. So from here I'm going to drag this script onto NPC dialog. Well, I'm going to delete that for now, and I'm going to do it again. So on scripts, create a new C#, and we'll go NPC underscore dialog. we will get into it. I'm just checking the time, 10 minutes already. Drag this one on to NPC dialog, NPC dialog onto the prefab, and we can get rid of that. Now, what we can do, drag that onto the capsule, click on capsule. Where is it? Box collider, and for some reason it's not coming up. Oh, sorry, reset position, because it's way over here. Transform, reset position, click on F again, and we just may need to drag him forward. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this one here and start another one. So stay tuned, check to see if everything's working, still working, beautiful. So I'll see you in the next one.